Brand ambassador that's helping to make sure that what you think of your company or your association or whatever, making sure that what you think of that is transposed, and that's the same thing that the public or your customers are thinking. That may sound like a very simple thing, but it's not. Again, it requires everyone to be working the same way. Everyone from the first person in the door in the day and the last person out of the door at night has to be thinking that same way. And is what I'm doing going towards furthering my brand and furthering what we want to be seen to be doing? I was lucky to be a spokesperson for many times in my career, but definitely during the pandemic, I became the spokesperson for the restaurant industry. It was a responsibility I took very seriously. I know it was very difficult at time when you're talking to people and then having to talk for people, but my experiences were very, very helpful to me. I think I made a big difference every time I was on CP24, usually two or three times a week, and that spoke directly to people. It gave people information, but it also gave people hope. It gave people the idea that someone's behind them, that there are groups that are working to try and make things better, especially at a time where we didn't know if things would ever get better. So people needed hope. They needed to hear that people understood that, and I was lucky to be in that position. Well, most of my time in the government was spent doing stakeholder stuff. When I was chief of staff, it basically is keeping your staff and your stakeholders happy. I did have the senior advisor of stakeholder relations role at Premier's office. That was very interesting because not only did you have the day-to-day interaction with stakeholders, but the majority of the work was when stakeholders had an issue, that's when it came to my desk. So I never got easy problems. Everything was a tough fix. A lot of the problems that are faced by stakeholders are because you don't have a single point of contact. You have many ministries that you have to talk with, and the majority of my job in that time was weaving together how to give each different perspective. I learned a lot through that, and I've taken that for most of my career, is how do I look at all the different perspectives, weave them into one, and take an idea from one and help it somewhere else.